Okay. Here I am, Rick Mertell. Afternoon, everybody. This Rick Mertell here with Synergy Financial Partners on the Veteran Entrepreneur Training System show here on Ferguson, USA Hot Talk Radio. Sitting here with Santa Claus, who Scott's getting ready for the holiday season, and he got all Santified. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but
Sanitized.
yeah. So. So just kind of sitting here with Santa Claus. Don's not going to be with us today because he was just up here in St. Louis doing the Wealth 101 live version, and so he's driving back to Atlanta today. So today, just going to kind of talk about the program itself and kind of how it came about. I've been in the business, financial services, for about 25 years, and with Jeff Huggins and Don Rice and a few other guys, we started Synergy Financial Partners back in 2013, and we've had some good growth in the company and things, and over the last probably year and a half, this COVID season that we've all gone through, that has changed a lot of things for business and for life in general, really, in a lot of different ways. But we were fortunate and, kind of blessed that we not only did we survive through it, but we thrived through it. And just having a conversation with Jeff and Don and some of the other leaders in our company, we were just trying to think of a way that we could give back, and Jeff happens to be an Air Force veteran. Don is a Navy veteran. So they thought that maybe it would be since we are continuing to try to grow, they thought it would be a great program to start something for vets, because we found that there's probably about 200,000 veterans that transition from the military to civilian life every year. And who better than a veteran to help in some way? I mean, they've done so much for us. And one of the things we discovered too is that they have a lot of the skills that already in place that they've learned, in the service. Some of the things like working together, teamwork, integrity, communication skills, planning, flexibility, and one of the biggest things, problem solving, because everything's not going to go as planned. And that's what we do for people, is we solve problems. We solve problems with as far as protection and as far as their retirement planning and things like that. So we just thought that it would be a great idea to kind of open that up and I guess in a sense target veterans to help them, the ones that want to. I mean, it's this, the plan is not for everybody. I mean, the system is not for everybody, just like it isn't for everybody in civilian life. It's entrepreneurship takes a different breed of people. But I found in my years of being in the business and years of networking, I've met probably 100 or more people that are great business people, entrepreneurs, have their own businesses that are veterans. But not everybody has the same, the same idea. Everybody, when you're going to start a business, you need an idea. And then, of course, you need some kind of backing. You need money to start it. Once you have the idea, you need money. I mean, there's franchises out there. Some people do go that route. But to start your own business is not the easiest thing, and a lot of businesses fail. So having a business with a turnkey system, it makes it much easier to enter the business and then also to sustain the business. So the Veteran Entrepreneur Training System is it's like I said, it's not for everybody. I mean, it's designed though for veterans who desire growth, challenge, and exceptional income opportunities. As with any other form of entrepreneurship, there's no shortage of hours required to be successful, and there's no guaranteed set income. So it's not easy, but it's simple, and that's true success comes in the form of experience, personal growth, and unparalleled financial rewards. I mean, we just happen to be in one of the highest paying industries that there is. I mean, the financial services industry pays out $50 billion a year to its troops. So there's a lot of money going through people's hands, and might as well be some in yours, right? And the beautiful thing, in my opinion, is that we're getting paid to help people, to put them in a better position. So how could how could this benefit you? I mean, it's not only to teach veterans, we're part of the system. We teach them how to market, but also we focus on the importance of serving the community, and that's service is something. I mean, that's why they call it the service, right? Because you go into the military, whether it be the the Navy or the Marines or the Army, you become a serviceman, in that, or servicewoman in those areas. So we're just going to kind of continue as they transition from the service to another service, servicing the community, helping people with their financial problems, helping them with their, and not everybody thinks of it as a problem, but if you look at it, I mean, if you talk as far as like life insurance, for example, the problem exists when somebody dies, and then does the family get to keep the house? Do the kids still get to go to college? Do you get to keep the car? I mean, what kind of lifestyle changes are going to happen if there's not money provided for the family? So those things are huge. And so we just teach the principles of success, ethics, motivation, dedication, confidence, positive affirmation. I mean, this is one of the things that one of the leaders told me many years ago, is that this is really, this industry or this business is kind of like a self-improvement, a self-improvement business where you just improve yourself constantly, but it's got a great compensation package. So one of the things, and Scott just put it up on the screen there, one of the things that really excites me about, Synergy, and Jeff and I put this together, and a couple other guys put this together years ago. Jeff was in an appointment with a guy who was in the Army Rangers, and they have a creed, and he had it actually carved on a stump in his house. And Jeff was just intrigued by it, because it was first off a beautiful work of art, sitting in the guy's house, but then the creed itself, was inspirational, and so we decided to put together a creed of our own, and of course we're looking for leaders. We're trying to build ourselves as leaders, and we're looking to train people to be leaders. So we kind of put this together ourselves, and we have, our mantra is, we want to help people, we want to have fun, and we want to make money and lead by example. So we put together this leaders creed. We just took the words, the word leaders, and we just kind of put things together for that. And as you can read there, or maybe you can't read that while on your screen, depending on what you're watching this on. But legacy, it's, I will pay the price today to ensure success tomorrow. And the SFP legacy will be to have built the most dominant marketing organization the financial industry has ever seen. And this is going to be attained by developing strong leaders at every level. And it all starts with me. I read this every morning, and this is what gets me going for the day. And then execution. What matters most is what you do day by day over the long haul. And, I will always keep myself mentally alert, physically strong, and morally straight. And I will shoulder more than my share of the task, whatever it may be. The little things make a big difference in life, and in every area of life. And then attitude. I mean, I was born to win. We were all born to win. It's just deciding to do it. The important and decisive factor in life is not what happens to you, happens to me, but the attitude I take towards what happens. And the attitude that you take toward what happens is definitely going to propel you in one direction or the other. Discipline. I will embody the principle. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. I will use this commitment as a guiding force in my life, doing what I should do, when I should do it, whether I want to or not. I mean, you got to continue to do the right thing all the time. This shall come to shape the person I aspire to be. How true is that? And then enthusiasm. You got to be enthusiastic. And I try to. Oftentimes, I'm told that maybe I don't look that enthusiastic, but and I try to tell my face that I am enthusiastic. But so there's no happiness without action. So if I want to be enthusiastic, you have to act enthusiastic. And he who chooses the beginning of the road also chooses its outcome. And then R, respect. Respect is earned, not given. People change direction to follow the strongest leaders. This one is the most important to me of all these, because of the fact that when I started in this business 25, almost 26 years ago, was working with one company, and that company made a bunch of changes. And in the meantime, I had met Jeff Huggins, the current CEO of Synergy Financial Partners, and he decided to start a company. And I thought to myself, Jeff is the kind of guy I want to work with. Jeff is the guy I want to hang out with. He's the one that I want to do things with, because I felt like he was doing the right things. So he changed direction, and so did I. I changed direction with him. We both left that company, and we started Huggins Financial Group, and then we moved on and started Synergy Financial Partners back in 2013. So people will change direction to follow the strongest leaders, and I will be that person with my family, my peers, my clients, and my company. A leader must give up to go up, sacrifice. It's the poorest of all men is the one without a dream. What one thing could you give up today that will move you closer to your goals? There's so many things that we do every single day that are meaningless, sometimes to our lives, whether it be, TV shows, that's probably a real simple example. But there's so many different things that, we could spend our time more productively and do better things for ourselves and our family. But this is, the Leaders Creed. I think that was the first thing I thought of when Jeff mentioned, starting this V.E.T.S program, because of the fact of being connected, through him seeing it through a service, of Army Rangers, an elite service in the Army. And it just clicked, that, hey, we've got this Leaders Creed, and we are building, we're trying to build an army of, great people to help people have fun, make money, and lead by example. So it's just, this is kind of one of the avenues that we've taken, because I do a lot of networking, or at least did prior to COVID. And I've met a lot of people, and there's all kinds of different, in St. Louis, there's all kinds of nonprofits that help veterans and things. And, some veterans, need help in different ways. Some need to be fed, some of them can't work, so they can't get a job, maybe because of some disability or something like that. So everybody's not able to make it on their own, and why wouldn't we help them? But the veterans that we're looking for, of course, are going to be people that have that entrepreneurial spirit. We want people that want to build something that, of course they're capable. I mean, it doesn't mean that you couldn't be a veteran with a disability and work with us, because you could. I've discovered that I can do a lot of this work from my home without ever going to anybody else's house. I do Zoom meetings every single day, and you could sit in a chair and never have to get up. Of course, thank God I can, and that I can get up and get around, but you could do this, so there's so many different ways. You can meet, we have the meetings, the Wealth 101s, live ones. We now have them virtually, so you can actually send people to those. And then I do a lot of one-on-ones, whether that be in person at the Sweet Spot Cafe, my background here, or whether it be at a Breadco, or wherever somebody wants to meet, or at somebody's kitchen table. And we're willing to do that for anybody. And the beautiful thing that is, we offer these services, and a lot of places will charge you a fee just to do what we do, just to give you direction, and then of course we get paid by the companies that we use to help you, if we can help you, and if that's the direction you want to go. But there's it's we lead with education, and I found that most people, once they're educated, they're going to make a lot better decisions in whatever area of their life we're talking about. The favorite thing that I hear, because we teach people that and those who have seen this seen more than one show of ours, we show people the difference between the old way of doing things and the new way, and we call it that because to a lot of people it is new, but to the wealthy, a lot of the strategies and things that we teach people are not new. I mean, they've been around. The tax laws that allow you to take income from a life insurance policy without being taxed, all the different things like that have been around for longer than I have, and I've been alive for 60 years. But they're new because a lot of people don't know about it yet. So we're just kind of leading a revolution of getting the word out about all these different strategies and concepts that people don't, the middle America people don't know. And so, we're just looking for, people that want to build a business. We're just right now currently, we're trying to help veterans to do that. Once again, it's not for everybody. It's not a, it's not a job. So it's not, you're not going to come in and, sit down and type on a computer and get a paycheck. You're not going to move, stock around a building and get a paycheck. You're going to help people to get a paycheck. So, but of course you got to learn how to do that, and it's not something that everybody knows how to do. But my story, how I got in this business is, I mean, there was no intention of me ever thought I'd be in this business. I mean, I went to high school, graduated, didn't go to college because it wasn't something that my family was accustomed to. Went to work, right from high school, and I was fortunate. I got a good job, and I worked in an envelope factory. I was a printer, and I did that for 19 years. But about year 15, I thought, I could do something a little more important, something more rewarding, more fulfilling, however you might want to say that. But I didn't know what it was, so I kind of went out and started looking at different places, different things. And everywhere that I went, I kind of had to start from the beginning. But, here I was in my 30s. I didn't want to start over again. I kind of came accustomed to a certain lifestyle. I bought a house and all those things. So I just kind of took that dream of doing something bigger, and I just kind of put that dream on a shelf, and I'm like, okay, I'll be fine. I got a good job. I make decent money. I had a pension, all those things. And just thought I'd go about my business. Just, I guess, a little bit bored, maybe. It wasn't that exciting, but I was fine. But then the next year, my dad passed away, and he was only 55 years old. I have 5 sisters and 1 brother. 3 of my sisters at that time were teenagers, and it was tough, and we had to, make it through, taking care of my dad's, final wishes and things like that. And my dad, unfortunately, didn't make any kind of plan. He lived in a trailer with the roof caving in. He had a car that barely ran. He had about this much money in a bank account, and didn't have any life insurance. So, we had to chip in together, and we had to take care of everything, and it was tough, and my sisters, it was hard on them, but we made it through. And then once we made it through, I thought to myself, I've got to look at my life and, make sure that I have things set up so this doesn't happen to them again. Because men, we die sooner than women, typically, statistically. And my sisters being that much younger than me, I knew that, it's very likely that I'll be gone before them. And I didn't want them to go through this thing again. So I just took a look at my life, and I saw that I had a good job. I had bought a house when I was young. I had a pension. I was good at saving money. I was good at saving. Didn't put it all in the right places, but I was good at saving it. And then I looked at that I had life insurance that came with my job. And having just gone through that with my dad, I knew that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough insurance. And then, of course, the fact that if I did change jobs, then that's gone. That's not something that typically you can keep, or, and you never know if the next job's going to offer it, or if it's going to cost more, or, you're older, all kinds of different factors that can then come into play. So I found a friend of mine who was in this business, and thank God for him. His name's Miles Eaton, awesome guy. And thank God for him, he didn't sell me an insurance policy. He took the time and he educated me about insurance. And when he was done, I slid across the table to him the biggest check that I could write. And since he's my buddy, I said, "Hey, Miles, how much money did you just make?" And when he told me, my jaw hit the table. I was like, I cannot believe this. I said, I work 50, 60 hours a week at this envelope factory, which of course in the summer is hot and in the winter is cold. So, big, huge factory, and working a lot of overtime. And I said, it takes me a week to make that. And he had been at my house for maybe 2 hours at the most. And I knew he was doing something good for me, so a light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe this is it, maybe this is the thing. And so I asked him, I said, Miles, can you teach me how to do this? And he looked over at me with a smirk on his face, and he said, Rick, can you teach me how to run a printing press? Because that's what I did. I trained people how to run printing presses. And I told him, I said, I could teach a monkey how to run a printing press. I do it every single day, And he's like, well, that's great. Then I can teach you how to do this. And I said, when do we start? He said, today. We just did. And I said, that's awesome. And so I started, he guided me, and that's what we'll do with the people in this program. He guided me to, how to get licensed, the different steps and things, the different licenses that I needed. And I thought, you know what, at first I was excited about it, but then I found out I had to get these licenses. And I had to study. I'm like, study? I didn't even study when I was in high school, and that was 18 years ago or whatever, 15, 18 years ago. And I had to read and learn all this stuff. And I thought, how am I going to do this? I didn't even do it when I was in high school. I was too busy, having fun. And the only book that I'd read since high school was Muscle and Fitness magazine. And that's not even a book, right? But so I thought, well, I'll figure this out. And, and I did, and I studied, and I went with Miles on appointments, and I, just kind of shadowed him and learned. And it took me a while, but I was fortunate to start part-time. So, and that's another thing about this that's huge, because you could have that, that you could still be in the service and you could do this part-time. You could come out and you could start that job, that's something to sustain you, to pay your bills and things like that while you build your business. And I did it for about 4 years before I ever actually left that comfort zone of that factory that I was at. Because, like I said, 15 years is when I was thinking about it. And then my dad died. And then I stayed there for a few more years just to, put away some more money to, because business can be tough. It's not the easiest thing in the world. There's ups, there's downs. It's real life. And I learned so much, and it's just been a great journey. And I've had so many people that I've helped. I mean, I've been to clients' weddings, unfortunately funerals, but kids' graduation parties. I mean, it's you build a lot of great relationships when you're out and you're helping families. So this is my passion. I mean, and who'd ever thought? I would never ever in my life thought that I'd be in this business. My dad was a car salesman, and that was one of the things I swore I would never do, is sell. I'd never be a salesperson. And to this day, I don't. I mean, I'm not a salesperson. I'm an educator. And oddly enough, I have some educators in my family that I never thought that's what I would do either, but I wasn't against it as I was against the sales, selling something. Because selling something felt like you were making somebody do something to me. But we're going to educate people, give them all the knowledge, all the options, the things that they can do, and then they can take that and they can do with it. And then we can help them with those different things. And we can't help them with everything. But I have enough network, my network is big enough that I know somebody who does everything. So if we can't help them, we can guide them in the direction to get the help that they need. And that's what, so that's kind of what this is all about. And today I just talked about that, my story and things like that. I just really want to add it because you might be thinking, if you're watching this, or if you are a veteran or you know one, you might be thinking, well, what do they know about this? This is no ceiling. There's no limit to the income that you can create, or female, male. There's none of these obstacles that could possibly stop you from building this thing as big as you want it. I mean, and then of course you can just do it in a part. You could do it part time for the rest of your life too. I have some agents that every 6 months or so they call me and say, hey, I got somebody, can you help me talk to them? And of course they're doing their other job the rest of the time. And then there's some people that I work with on a daily basis, and just helping them, training them, and helping them to meet people and build their businesses. So you can be an agent all by yourself, do it all yourself eventually, or you can do it occasionally. Or that's not what I would recommend, but why get into it if you're not going to get into it? I'm the all in kind of guy myself, but everybody's not like me. And just looking for veterans that we can help, the ones with that entrepreneurial spirit. We want if you can share this with somebody. My information's on the screen. You can call me. You can go to my website, look at all the testimonial videos that we have of our clients. There's a lot of educational videos on there. And then, of course, you can email me too. But, calling me is the best thing. I mean, I'm a people person. I like to talk to people. So give me a call, and we'll get you on a virtual wealth 101 so you can learn that. Or you and I can go to the sweet spot and sit down and, have a good meal, and I can teach you everything I know, or find out what the pain is for you, or if if this is something that is for you. Maybe it's not, but it's definitely worth a conversation. So give me a call, send me an email. Look at the website. Look at the website first. Then you can give me a call and send me an email, or however it is you like to communicate. You can text me. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, and I'm 60 years old, but I can text. I can do the email, and clearly I'm starting to learn how to do a podcast. I mean, it's been doing it for about 8 months now, so I believe we can handle it. So let's share this with anybody that you know. Appreciate it, and just want to try to help people. Help, and we want to build an army of people to help more people. It's all about how many people we can get to, and how fast we can get to them. Because America needs help right now. They need help in the financial area. Unfortunately, it's not taught enough in schools. So a lot of people aren't getting the information that they need. So we want to get that information to people. So I appreciate you coming today. Looks like I actually talked for a whole 30 minutes. Imagine that. And you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to do the best I can. And thank you for coming. Have a great day.